State Warriors as them being one of the teams that are in the Giannis trade. So, Alex, I'm gonna start this one off. Where do the Warriors go from here? And when I say where do the Warriors go from here, this is following the Jimmy Butler torn ACL. You have all the Jonathan Kuminga drama. So now it says we either go all in and mortgage our whole future. So Sham said it would be picks 20, your first round pick unprotected 2026, 2028, 2027, and 2032. So you are giving up every pick that you have for the next 5 years. Six. So you're giving up a lot of picks. You're mortgaging your future for a guy, Giannis Antetokounmpo, that is 31 years old, has multiple calf injuries, and you have to pay him $275 million. Now, if Giannis is on a deal when you get him, maybe you do it. But now you're not only mortgaging your future, you have to sign this dude to a max contract. So you not only have to love Giannis now, you have to love him for the next 4 to 5 years. Does getting a Giannis Antetokounmpo extend Stephen Curry's window? 1,000%. We saw how good he was alongside of Kevin Durant. But in order to get a Giannis Antetokounmpo, not only are you mortgaging your future, Pod's probably gone, Kuminga's probably gone, and it comes down to how much do you want Draymond? Because it's going to be either Draymond or Jimmy Butler. And if I'm the Bucks, I want a Jimmy Butler to expire in contract coming off of ACL. They can just let him walk for free. So there's a lot of things that the Warriors need to consider. I'm one of the guys that's looking at the other side of the coin. Trade Steph Curry. Start over. Hit the big red button. You're gonna mortgage your future. What if Giannis gets hurt? Then it was for nothing. Because Stephen Curry's not gonna be there. Draymond Green's not gonna be there. Steph Curry's not gonna be there because they went all in on a hope and dream that Giannis is gonna be healthy. He's already missed. You're gonna trade whoever trades for Giannis. He's not coming back to the middle of March. We are in January. So not only are you cutting your team and your future, you have to survive from today is January 30th to the middle of March without Giannis and without all those pieces you traded for him. So it's like, I get it. No one wants to see Steph Curry in another jersey, but from a business perspective, you can get a haul for Steph Curry. Or you can give up a haul and try to contend. We talked about the West and how good the West is. And once you talk about how good the West is, you also have to make it to the finals and beat the team in the East. So that's a lot of hoping and praying that it's going to work out. But there's also the other side of the coin that people can talk about. And a lot of people aren't talking about it because they want Steph Curry to be here. We saw Steph Curry last year go down with an injury. So could this be another rerun of Dame and Giannis? I get it. Everyone wants to look at the side where they're both healthy. And for the audio only listeners, Alex is sighing. She's looking around. So her feedback is going to be amazing. I can't wait for it. But it's not crazy to say. It's crazy to hear, but it's not crazy to say. Luka Doncic got traded. At this point, we all saw starting five. They all said shit. Anyone can go. So Alex, I know I said a lot there. Before you get to me, what are your thoughts on Giannis or the Warriors going all in, mortgaging their future for a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo?
I am speechless that you said that. The Bay won't let Steph Curry go.
Alex, they sucked before Steph Curry.
The Bay won't let them go. He's not going. You said Giannis told the franchise to get Dame because the franchise trusts him. That's a franchise player. You think the franchise is going to trade the greatest shooter God ever created? Kevin.
Was Luka not the franchise? He got traded in the middle of the night.
Kevin, use your brain. Okay? We're not going to sit here and say trade Steph. That's not in the books. That's not even plausible. Okay? Yes, you give up everyone for Giannis. You keep Draymond because he could be the facilitator. You get a Giannis, and you got a light-skinned dude running around the court. He just passes it, and then he gets a three. Of course, you keep Steph Curry. Of course, you mortgage everything. It's like the the 98 Bulls. You got to blow it up. When Steph Curry retires, that is when your rebuild starts. It's going to be a tough decade. Yes, 10 out of 10. But look at why are you in this position now? I'd rather be in this position because we won 5 rings since 2015. I'm okay with that. At least it's not like the Kings, okay? I'm sorry.
Wow. That's
But,
what we're doing? We're taking personal shots?
No, we're not trading Steph Curry. That is insane. That is crazy talk. That's crazy. Use your brain, okay? They're not trading Steph. They're probably going to get Giannis. They have the draft picks. You're going to give up a pod. You're going to give up Jimmy Butler. And throw in Kuminga in there too because he don't want to be there. Solid. You still got – the thing is, though, with the Warriors is you never need you just need guys who could play a role. You just need 1 to 2 big stars, right? I mean, they did it with 3 once. And then everyone has to play their role to a T. After that, you're straight. You don't need nothing much. You just let Giannis and then let Curry do what they do. And that's it. That's all you need.
So before I get back to, let's get to some of these comments. Toddy, our good brother, we can make something shake if they pair Giannis and Steph. No one's disagreeing with that. And then our father says there are levels to this. David, Kings catching strays like always. Alex, let me ask you this. A year ago today, would you have not told me the same thing about Luka not being traded?
Okay. Yes. I'm not saying that. With the whole Luka situation, though, you had a GM who really did not like Luka, who really thought the Mavericks organization, the franchise, the city, the state of Texas could be better without Luka Doncic in a Mavericks blue jersey. They really thought that. They thought we rather rebuild than pay this man who's a 5-time All-Star that was in his 6th year. 5-time first team in 6 years. I don't want to pay him the max. If he ain't max, no one's max. So that's a one-off situation. That's ownership not vibing. That's ownership not holding themselves accountable, not really understanding the ins and outs of basketball in general, right? That's GM and front office not being like, we don't really want Luka. We built a team around him. And they really got lucky with the number 1 draft pick. They really got lucky.
Yeah, blessed.
They got lucky. Because if they didn't have Cooper, the city of Dallas will probably be in flames.
So let's look at this, Alex. The Warriors are currently 3 games above the 9th seed. So you're going to cut your team in half and trade for a guy that's not playing until March. You're telling me you would rather feel confident in a playing Warriors team with Giannis, Draymond, and Steph versus rebuilding, because you forget there was a lot of dark times before Steph got there, and there's going to be a lot of dark times after Steph leaves. Could you imagine if Steph goes down or if one of these guys go down? We saw what the team looked like with just Steph and Draymond that COVID season. Top 10 pick. That's not enough. You're rolling out Giannis Antetokounmpo, Draymond Green, Stephen Curry, and me and you. At some point, me and you gonna have to make a play. They don't have that. They're getting rid of pods.
No. Steph Curry has that system on lock where role players will play their role to a T. That's not the issue, right? And they don't have to trade him right now. They could get him in the offseason and then start it in the beginning of next season. I'd rather do that than do it right now because Giannis is injured. I don't think he's gonna get traded before the deadline. I think he's probably gonna do it in the offseason. But yes, you got the team and you start anew. And you have to go through a rebuild. I think when you have these very bigger than life players, a Michael Jordan, a Kobe Bryant, a Steph, your team is going to have to go through a rebuild because you want to maximize their potential. Steph Curry is still going off. You have to strike while the iron's hot. Yes, the West is a madhouse. It's insane at the moment. So what do you have to lose? You're already not, like you said, you're already in the ninth spot. You get a Giannis, you could get at least 6. You could be top 6. You can make it.
Let me ask you this. Warriors get Giannis, Draymond, Steph, and whoever the rest of the team is. Are they better than the Thunder?
No, I'm not saying. Okay.
Are they better than the Spurs?
I'm not saying they could make it. I'm not saying it. But Steph has a better chance. And the Warriors have no chance. The Warriors are dead in the water. Dead in the water. They got to do something. Steph is too great right now to not give him anything. Like, help my man. Help him. So if there's a Giannis, a top 3 player in the world, yeah, you get him.
But what are you getting him for? You're mortgaging your future to be a second-round team. You're not going to win a championship.
No. But let's be honest, though, Kevin. Will the OKC even make it into the playoffs if all these injuries are still happening to them?
1,000%.
Okay, I'm not saying. Okay, that's not the right question. Are the OKC going to be a second round exit if all their players at the moment are still injured? Right, you still have J-Dub, Isaiah Hartenstein. Chet's not playing good. Light skinned dude AJ Mitchell is out. They just got built ass, to be quite frank, by Minnesota. In Minnesota. So I'm not saying that they can't make it, but they have a better chance. It's like, would you rather get an F on the test or get a C on the test? I'd rather a C.
You still don't walk away with an A.
Hey, but you're going for it because you don't know what's gonna happen in the playoffs, Kevin. You really don't. You really don't. Okay,
you were just the person saying Giannis don't want to go to the West. That was your words.
No, I know. I wouldn't want to, but the Warriors probably have the best
package
draft assets with young players that Milwaukee, the organization, wants. And Giannis probably wants to play with Steph. I mean, if he goes to the East, okay, cool. You want a Heat? That's basically Milwaukee, but with better weather. So do you want to live on South Beach and still be a maybe mid team and maybe get out maybe play a really hard competitive playing game and then lose in the first round, get swept? Like, no. But the most competitive teams that really want you are in the West. Sucks. Because that makes the West even harder. But you know what? This what it is.
So we're not going to spend too much time on this, but I'm going to tell you how it's all going to work out, okay? Giannis Antetokounmpo and Drew Holiday are going to the Knicks, okay? Follow me. The Blazers are going to get Karl Anthony Towns. What do the Bucks get out of this? Some scraps from the Knicks. And they also get their 3 first-round picks from the Blazers. So that way, you suck, you get your own pick. You no longer have to say, I have to compete like the Clippers because someone else has your pick. So you go get all those picks back from the Dame trade, and you wipe your hands with it. You get no young guys, and you get to rebuild in the drafts. Because as of right now, the Blazers have a top 10 pick. If I'm the Bucks, I'm doing anything in my power to get my picks back. Because we could say the Warriors. You know, what happens if Giannis and Steph turn back time? And those picks are the last pick in the draft. You're doing the same thing you were doing. But you know in your building that you suck. So you've got the best chance of getting the best pick if you have your own picks. Yes, I get it. You know, the OKC did it and the Clippers just happen to be bad and it works out, but it doesn't always work out that way. So there's a lot of things, there's a lot of ways to look at it, but I know people in the comments are saying I'm crazy and I'm crazy. I shouldn't trade Steph Curry, but you know what? God damn it. If you're going to not win a championship, what's the point? So before we move on.
You got Steph Curry. You always have a chance. You know that. You know that. Use your brain. You don't trade Steph. Steph is not on the level of Luka. Like, I'm not saying Luka should have got traded, but Steph is arguably top 10 in the league of all time. Like, That's a Hall of Famer at the moment. Like, he could retire today, 5 years from now, he's first ballot. So,
Agreed.
You don't trade Steph Curry. I can't believe you said that.
Because look, if you're gonna give up everything and it doesn't work out, now you're paying Giannis $275 million. Next season, you have to give Steph a contract. So now you're paying for two guys on a team with a bunch of nobodies.
Yes, that's what you do with greatness. Kevin, you don't think Oakland, the Bay Area, won't riot and burn the city down if the Golden State Warriors trade Steph? You don't think that? You thought Dallas was bad. They will be in a riot, Kevin. The city will be in flames.
So let me tell you this. I don't know if you've been following the draft. They trade Steph, and they get a top 3 pick, and they get another top 3 pick, and they get another top 3 pick, and then we're sitting here in 2020 and 2029 saying the Warriors are back.
So you'd rather get a rookie than Steph Curry, Wardell Curry.
Alex.
Kevin, answer the question. Yes or no?
Yeah. if I'm in the Warriors hat, there's a reason Bob Myers, the guy who built this team, left because he didn't have the stomach. He couldn't get rid of Clay. He couldn't do it. This GM has no loyalty. This GM got nothing from Steph Curry. This GM traded for Jimmy Butler just to get hurt. We were in the same situation last year talking about the Warriors are stuck. Now they're stuck again.
So I understand that. But also what this GM has knowledge of is what Nico Harris had to endure last year. He doesn't want that smoke. No one does. That GM wants a job, Kevin, at the end of the day. And if it's not with the Warriors, there's 29 other teams he wants a job with. No one is going to hire Nico Harris anymore. No one. Because you don't want that. You don't. So he wants a job. I understand he has no loyalty to Steph, but he wants a job. He wants money. It's a bad economy, okay? We're living in dark times. There's just no way. There's no way.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying there's two sides of every coin.
Get that out of your head. Just get it out. Just.
All right, before we move on, let's get to some more of these comments. David said they won't make the trade if they lose out until March for the trade. I'm assuming he's talking about Giannis. Toddy said only thing is Giannis always gets hurt come playoff times, like Kevin was preaching.
He didn't get hurt in 2021.
What year is it? What year is it?
Okay, anyway, he didn't get hurt.
The year they won the championship. I get it. That's a long time ago.
It's still Giannis, bro.
Kevin will become a Giannis fan or a Niners fan before they trade Steph.
Yes,
absolutely not. Insight, a riot, Kevin, a riot. Uncle Manny says, "You go, Uncle Jerry," and then somebody caught a stray because Josh Allen owns somebody's franchise. So I don't know who they're talking about. Touchdown Temple. Go ahead, leave us a comment to see who they own, but we won't get into football. So the next